Bad Influence, a Spanish romance movie about a guy who gets hired as a bodyguard for some rich man's daughter, and somehow they fall in love. Produced by the Wattpad Studios, which means it has been a fanfic before. The same company that is also responsible for the existence of movies like Your Fault, Through My Window, Beautiful Disaster. All of which I have not watched, and hopefully never will. Unless someone asks me to. So let's see how the story went on. With 3 months left until the end of his sentence, Eros receives a proposal from Bruce, a rich man who works in some organization that makes one adult per child meeting every 6 months to see how things are going, or something, to work as Reese's bodyguard, as she has been stalled. And as soon as Eros is out of prison, he saves her from a light that was about to fall during a ballet performance, and then he runs away, as, according to himself, while telling it to his friends, Peyton and Diego, he was afraid to get blamed if he stayed, even though running away is more incriminating, but whatever. Reese finds out her dad hired a bodyguard, and she hates it. Then Eros starts walking around the house, then he caresses cars, bottles, pictures, steering wheels. Once done caressing around, he goes to the guest room, where the bedsheets are never changed across the movie, and then he goes to the veranda. In the same moment Reese swims, and Bruce appears, telling him to not even think about it. I suppose he is telling Eros to not swim in their pool. Right? And for some reason, this job as a bodyguard requires Eros to go back to school, as a student, and go to classes, as a student. Basically, go back to being a student. From then on, it is shown that Reese is bullied and her ex-boyfriend annoys her, yet they still make a deal in which he will invite her to his birthday party if she invites him to hers. As school time is over, and someone cuts Reese's ballet shoes, she finally questions why her dad hired Eros, instead of someone competent. Then Eros tells her about that charity institution Bruce works with and that his parents passed away. She starts telling him that her mother also passed away, but he doesn't want to listen. Anyway. During Raul's party, in which Eros stays mostly waiting in the car instead of doing his job, yet he ends up feeling bored and goes in there, which makes Reese complains, but soon the playtime starts, and ends with a PowerPoint about the cheerleader effect. That is basically how an ugly person ends up looking prettier for being around pretty people. Well, that might be it. And as Raul doesn't have a mirror in his house, he starts talking about how Reese gets to look prettier thanks to her friends, who quickly starts defending her. Then Reese throws a drink at him, and he just takes his shirts off and asks if Eros wants a kiss. Well, that would be more interesting. Now it is getting interesting. Anyway. Reese and Eros go back home. He goes to sleep after replying to messages, and in Reese's case, she sees some bully comments. Then she finds Eros's Instagram, and after looking at his photos, she starts or she started because she looked at the photos. Whatever. On the next day, at school's exit time, Peyton and Diego go to Reese's school to pick up Eros so the three of them can break someone's motorcycle. Also, Eros was supposed to take Reese to ballet class at that time, as part of his bodyguard job, but he just tells her she can go by herself. But somehow, she goes to the same parking lot as them and helps them break the motorcycle. As everyone runs away, Reese starts laughing right at Eros' face after asking who those guys were, and receiving a stop asking questions as an answer. They return home very late at night, and Reese's dad dislikes it a lot. Reese points out it is a consequence from his own genius idea of hiring a barely out of jail guy as her bodyguard. Well, nobody gets grounded, so whatever. A couple of days pass and nothing happens. Then somebody puts a fart bomb in Reese's locker, but it also ends in nothing. On another day she receives a bully letter, and it also ends in nothing. Then her boyfriend annoys her again, and of course, it ends in nothing. Then finally, Eros finds out through Lily that Reese's stalker has been online stalking and cyberbullying her, and even sends her dick pics. And yes, no one bothered to investigate it properly. As Eros and Reese are not talking properly since that scolding they received from her father, he invites her and Lily to a party, where they find out Eros's nickname is the Legend because of whatever. It is only mentioned again when Reese finds out Eros was arrested for causing a fire that killed his parents, and he was 6 years old when it happened, yet he can't remember anything about that night. Also, Lily started dating Diego, I think, at Reese's birthday party, in which Eros takes his friends with him, and gets embarrassed as they take small plates of food, so they start walking around the house, and find Bruce's decorative guns, that are actually real guns, loaded and all, and are left at glass shelves with no lock, and no alarm, so one of them gets easily stolen and nobody notices it. Meanwhile, as Reese sat on her room's floor while her party was still going on, the stalker throws a ball with a message at the window, then she quickly goes downstairs, right at the happy birthday song moment, and tells it to Eros, who ends the party and kicks everyone out. And this house does have cameras, as mentioned later. As the party ends, Eros finds Bruce's office, which had a poorly hidden picture of Eros's parents, and by seeing it, he questions Reese about the photo, yet she obviously doesn't know anything about it. Then they kiss. Out of nowhere. Then they agree to not do it again through text. And on the next day, Reese gets from the stalker flowers and a box with a message and baby teeth, which makes her get to the conclusion that who is doing it must be Raoul, so both her and Eros get in the costume party, without costumes so everyone sees them walking in. Also, they were supposed to look at Raoul's mom's stuff as mentioned earlier, yet they go to Raoul's room. Of course, their plan fails and they end up hiding in the closet as Raoul goes in there to fuck, but thankfully, Reese accidentally makes noise, which gets Raoul's attention and gives Reese the opportunity to kick his balls and then run away with Eros as Raoul chases them while only wearing underwear. Once Reese and Eros get home, they kiss again. Whatever. Then Bruce's car gets sabotaged, and as he saw Reese and Eros making out in the pool last night through the security cameras, that couldn't catch who threw the ball at Reese's window, he fires Eros. Anyway, some time later, Reese finds Eros's drawing notebook, that had a drawing making fun of her, so she gets really mad and texts him about it. Which makes Eros meet with her after her ballet audition. Then they kiss. In the rain this time. And then they fuck. And then Eros gives her a necklace as a birthday gift. And Reese finds through Instagram that Peyton works in her school. But how the fuck neither Reese or Eros managed to not see her in there, is never explained. Then Reese connects that, since the day Peyton started working in her school, Reese started to get stalked, so Peyton is the stalker. She tells it to Eros. He assumes Reese is just trying to find an explanation for the things that are happening, yet she insists on it, and as he doesn't like the fact she is saying awful stuff about his friend, he leaves, and tries talking with Peyton. Yet she returns home only after 3 days without answering the phone, as she spent time with some Leo. Also it is her birthday, so she bought herself a princess toy crown, yet Eros wants to know more about this some Leo and why she didn't say she was working at Reese's school. Then as they talk, Peyton starts to get dressed to work at some event in Bruce's restaurant. Eros questions what she is hiding as she clearly isn't answering anything properly, so she pushes him away with such strength that makes him pass out. And talking about Bruce, he is going to Eros's house, as Reese texted him she is going there because she knows who the stalker is. As Reese gets in there, Peyton's natural calm is so evident that Reese doesn't even doubt that something wrong is not right. Then Bruce arrives. He asks if Peyton is the stalker. Also, Eros wakes up, and Peyton friendly starts telling them their past history, which is something she remembers clearly but never said to Eros. Back in the day, Peyton's mom used to work at Bruce's old restaurant, that had no license, and no fire extinguishers. So one day, in which Bruce was smoking inside there, his cigarette lit the whole building on fire, which killed everyone except himself. And somehow he managed to blame 6-year-old Eros for it. As the story ends, Bruce, Reese and Eros run away, yet Peyton still succeeds in killing Bruce. Then, after an unknown amount of time, Reese looks at an article about her father's death. Then it is shown she kept her relationship with Eros, and that she got hired by a dance company. So the movie ends with Reese and Eros wasting time at the dancing stage as a cloud alligator from the scenario watches them. That is it. I don't have much to say about this movie. I disliked it, and I think the only thing I kinda liked was the photography, in some scenes. The characters were all equally annoying, and the stalker mystery could have been solved much sooner if Reese's dad had hired someone competent, or gone to the police right away, instead of hiring the person he incriminated. Like, it was going to backfire at some point anyway, and Peyton was pretty much begging to be found. So, to make it short, the first life lesson we can take from this movie is, do not smoke. And the second, do not hire the same person you once framed, as your daughter's bodyguard. Hey! Please don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment.